it's easy to assume that you had a lot of extra juice going up against that team. Did you feel it from the beginning? What did it mean to you to be in such a dramatic game against these guys?
Absolutely. I take pride in it. I take it personal. Love those guys over there, but also I want to beat them every single time I play them. And it feels good to get the win, but it also feels good for us to, we made some mistakes in the fourth quarter. At the end of the game, we buckled down. So that's the feel-good part is, we were down 8 with, 2 minutes, something like that left. We got some stops. Steph did what Steph does. And we came together in overtime, and we got the win.
How familiar do your old teammates feel to you, and was there a lot of talk back and forth?
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of talk. I was trying to tell them I'm not talking to them until after the game, but, Chris and Drew were not letting it go. But, those guys, it's like family over there for me. But like I said, it really feels good to get a win.
There's been a few games this season where Steph just kind of takes over. What's it like to be on the floor with him when he kind of does that?
It's fun to watch. Super fun to watch. Like, sometimes I'm looking at some of the shots. I'm like, there's no way. And it don't even touch the rim. So every time it leaves his hand, I think it's good. So it's super fun to watch, and it's super fun to be on the court with him.
Steve was saying one of the reasons he left you in to close was just for your defense. So just what do you make of how you guys put the clamps on them down the stretch of regulation and OT?
I take pride on that end, but I think the biggest play of the game is end of regulation. Steph coming over. Drew gets downhill, and Steph saves me, and he saves the game. So I think for us collectively, when we're locked in on that end, and we keep them off the foul line, and I think what we did a good job in overtime was the over-rotating, and we didn't, get them wide-open threes. I think we made them beat us one-on-one, and I think that's the biggest thing. When we're locked in on that end, that's when we're really special.
Dante, you've obviously seen Steph a lot over the years from afar. What's it been like? What have you learned maybe, or what have you found out that you didn't know maybe about his game and here in this almost full season with him now?
To be honest with you, nothing new. I just hated guarding him, and I'm really glad I'm on his side now. To be completely honest, there's everything I saw, as a visitor, and guarding him, you get so frustrated because, you play good defense. Like Drew played good defense, and then he comes off in the smallest room of space, and he's knocking it down. So I think for me, just being on the team this year with him is just the appreciation for it. Because, in years past, like, I would just get frustrated. But now I'm, like, watching it. Like, this dude is absolutely amazing.
No, so you took 12 threes, like, tying your career high, which you've done with the Warriors, but you never took that many before. And you're shooting a career high percentage. Is it offense? Is it playing next to Steph and Clay? Or you've always been this wet and you just needed the opportunity?
Playing next to Steph, Clay, and JP just, really allows me to get open looks. When Steph went out, I was really feeling it with JP. Like we have a good connection, a good rhythm. And then, I haven't played too much with Steph this year, just because in and out of, rotations and injuries and stuff like that. So when I'm on the court with him, I'm trying to get him as easy looks as possible, to try to play that role a little bit. And, just being aggressive, I think, is the biggest thing for me. Is when I'm aggressive, it opens everything up for me. Not just shooting the ball, but being aggressive, getting downhill, getting guys shots. And the gravity, like, everybody goes with Steph. So I find myself open. And when you're on the court with, two of them at a time, I'm definitely going to get an open look. So just having that confidence and knocking it down is what's been huge for me this year.
Dante, they didn't have Giannis. You guys were shorthanded. A win like that to go in overtime, did it feel like, a playoff-like, next level, kind of a litmus test against such a great team like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even without Giannis, like bro, you can go down the line with their roster. They made some trades. They got even more guys in there, and it really felt like that. I think the biggest thing for us is how proud and like everything we are of each other that we came together in overtime. Like I said, we were down 8 with a couple minutes left, and we didn't break. We came together, we locked in, and overtime was a lot of fun. You could see it. You could see everybody was locked in and enjoying themselves and happy for one another.
You mentioned being down 8 a couple times. I mean, are you starting to do the math out there of like, how quickly you need threes, how tough this might be?
No, I'm just saying as 8. I mean, I should say 8 in the NBA is like nothing nowadays, but 8 with 2 minutes left, you're thinking, all right, if they score once, it's game over. So I think the biggest thing, the importance of getting a stop at the end of the game like that, because I mean we've been down 6, 7, 8 multiple times with a minute something left, and when you're playing with 2 of the greatest shooters of all time, you're not worried about the offensive end. It's more defense.
How much in the as an NBA player, how much does the team that came back from 8 down have an advantage going into overtime compared to the team that gave it up?
The momentum, just you could start to see to start that overtime. They were kind of a little out of place with what they were running, their actions, and I think we were just into the ball. We were just making them beat us one-on-one rather than over helping or over rotating. And I think that's what helped us. Is like our momentum offensively really helped us in overtime defensively. Cool. Thank you.